What's up, guys? We're back here, Tasteless and Artosis, bringing you the StarLeague Season 2. So far, we've had some very interesting results.
We have Tasteless. First, of course, taking out Roro. That's probably a surprise to a lot of people, as first is really overshadowed by so many Protosses. And Roro is one of the best.
And a really cool base trade game, too.
Yeah, it was a fun one. I really enjoyed that game. Definitely recommend that one to your friends. Leenock versus Hive, pretty straightforward.
Pretty
Baneling,
standard.
10-pull Baneling didn't work. Leenock killed him.
I think people probably need to stop doing the 10-pull Baneling. I think you're right, Artosis.
I think it just... I remember when it first was really coming into popularity, like, it would just kill you. Like, you'd get 2 spines, you'd still lose.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's doing very poorly now. Anyways, next match, Leenock versus First. Really nice match.
I think First might win.
I think he might.
But I think this is one of the harder ones to call in this group, to be honest.
Yeah, well, you never know. Leenock can kill anybody at any time. Like, Leenock can take games off Innovation, Sulky, Flash, anybody. But also he can lose randomly. You know, that's just kind of the nature of him. But definitely a player that has been so solid, been here since the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, he's old school now.
Yeah, and he's young as can be, too.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's probably going to be around and probably be a top player even in Legacy of the Void.
Oh, no, he's...
I mean, this guy is...
Well, I remember we were talking about him back in, like, Season 1, and we were actually like, guys, watch this kid. He will be a god one day.
Yeah.
And he's basically there. The kid has won so many tournaments at this point. He's one of the biggest money earners ever.
Oh, absolutely. And, of course, here's his opponent first. The map is now loaded up. So get ready for some more awesome StarCraft 2 action here at GOMTV.net. In the bottom right, we have our deadly young Zerg player. His ID is...
Master FXO Leenock.
And the only Protoss player in this group, will he be the first to advance? He is.
New challenger, LGIM First.
All right.
Alrighty.
So, you know, the map, Newkirk Development Precinct, or Redevelopment Precinct. Now, this map used to be called Newkirk Precinct or Newkirk City. I can't remember.
Newkirk Precinct.
Okay.
That's what it was.
And now it's Redevelopment. And I actually have to say I appreciate whoever decided to name it that, because every map eventually gets tuned. If it's good enough to be in the pro leagues, eventually you're like, okay, these are the things we need to change to make this map actually good.
Yeah.
Because this map before sucked. It was not a good map. A lot of things wrong with it. But now it's like a very good map. And normally what happens is they then add something like TE for Tournament Edition, or LE Ladder Edition, or Neo at the front, or Shin at the front, or New at the front.
Yeah.
Instead, they're like, well, this is a precinct. It's being redeveloped. Redevelopment Precinct.
There you go.
So you know what? That's clever. Cheers to whoever chose to do that instead of the same old Neo Newkirk Precinct garbage.
Well, you know, it's funny you bring that up. A lot of people don't know that we have maps that are constantly being adjusted and modified. We don't just take a map or take a set of maps and go, well, that's what we're stuck with. We actually, here at GOM, actually eliminate several maps.
Yeah.
That once we decide, okay, this map isn't fair anymore. Yeah, we should even have this map in the pool. You know, or
and that's happened a lot of times.
Yeah. Or we're looking at this map and say, this map needs a watchtower. Or it doesn't need a watchtower. We're gonna change
that's Akalon. Akalon, when it was first released, had 4 watchtowers, not 2. And then we had the 2 in the middle blow up after 7 minutes, and that was still too powerful. So we got rid of those, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, you know, that's... A lot of people ask me about this, but, you know, in StarCraft 1, we got the game balanced. And then all that changed were maps. Yeah, and the way that the maps were. And you could actually, like, there was something called the Legend of the Fall. Every fall, a Protoss would win the big league, like the GSL Code S of StarCraft 1.
Yeah.
And that's because they balanced the maps towards Protoss in that season. And all it took was a little bit of tweaking, you'd get a Protoss champion.
Yeah.
That's how well balanced it is. And StarCraft 2 will eventually get there after Legacy of the Void's out for a while.
Yeah. It's really interesting, especially for people like you and me, because we've been here since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I remember back when we were playing on tournaments, the only map that people played on was Lost Temple.
Yeah.
And this map that was awful called Hunters.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I remember when I started getting people to finally play me on, like, Rivalry some and stuff, which was terrible, by the way.
That map sucks, too, actually. But it was something new, you know?
Yeah, totally. Well, so far, pretty greedy builds by both players here. The one thing to mention is, well, I guess actually Leenox isn't that greedy. against the Forge Expand. He has taken his third, but he actually has been mining gas, which you don't normally see this early. It's fine to do. You can do it.
Yeah.
But just something to throw out there, is he is getting that very quick zerging speed.
There's another wolf head down there.
Oh, wow, look at that. That's not a wolf head. That's a doghouse, and a giant wolf is just looking outside. He's laying in his little igloo house.
That's a space wolf.
Is there any other type?
I don't know. Earth wolves, I guess?
Earth wolves.
Yeah, man. Those are the ones we have here on Earth.
Oh. I can't think of the word.
What?
There's a theory that life on Earth was seeded by, like, asteroid hits from other planets.
I've heard about that, too. Yeah, they're like a comet
I had
or
a good
something.
joke if I could have remembered the name of that. God, I can't. I just barely. That's like the type of stuff I like read about on the internet. So
that stuff's always so interesting to read about. Looks like this probe has been spotted here, so can't proxy a pylon or anything like that just yet. And he is going to go ahead and go with the Stargate build. We'll see if he might pull Phoenixes like last game. He might not. We don't know.
Yeah, and in fact, he doesn't even have to go Phoenixes. He could go Void Rays and go into Sky Toss. That's definitely a possibility. In fact, some people have even recently been mixing in from time to time a single Void Ray to make it seem like it's Sky Toss and then just go for some Phoenixes.
Yeah, that's actually true as well.
Because, if someone goes Sky Toss, you get in your brain what you're going to do very quickly.
Well, yeah, and then what you can do is you can get the Zerg to overreact and overcompensate for something that doesn't really matter, Yeah. Something's not even really headed their way.
Now, okay, he's sending out the first Phoenix instead of waiting for any, and he's gotten the Robo right after the first Phoenix started. And he actually started +1, then canceled. So I think he's actually going to go for the double Immortal, double Colossus all-in.
Yeah, I think you're right.
With Phoenixes.
Throw up a bunch more gates and just push out.
Yeah, it's an unbelievably powerful build, and it's also tricky because you oftentimes go Phoenixes into Robo to take a third, and in fact, you oftentimes take a fake third with this build. But it looks to me like it's that build. It doesn't have to be.
With builds like... What's up?
A Warp Prism. And
wow.
He's actually already got 3 sentries. Oh my god, he's going to clear the path. Oh my, this is so cool.
He's going to clear the path and go to the ramp, force field it, and then just warp an army. This is really exciting. I cannot wait.
Chills.
I haven't seen this strat exactly done like this, but you know what? It makes perfect sense. Why not?
I feel, yeah,
you know what I mean? Why not?
This is cool, man. Oh my god. He has it timed perfectly. The 4 sentries are out. Look at the Phoenix movements. In fact, the fact that there are no Phoenixes killing drones right now should be a little bit of a tell to Leenock.
Yeah, it should be a little alarming right now.
Yeah. Now, he's going to have 5 gates warping in Zealots. There are Hydras on the way, but not enough. As soon as he gets his first warp-in up, he's going to have enough units with the Phoenixes to stop everything, I think. He should be able to kill the main. Now, he has to draw the Hydras. Good. Draw the Hydras down. Very good moves. And
then
here we
unload
go.
right over here.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Everything's just out of vision, too.
Brutal.
All right, he's going to see the sentry. Force fielded.
Okay, well, this is very good for him. And look at that. That is enough Zealots to keep these sentries alive, which is exactly what he needs to do. Now, Leenock's going to run around a lot. He's going to go for those sentries again. I don't think that's going to work out. But I guess what options does he truly have at the moment?
He doesn't really have much.
No.
I mean, he just needs to get another force field over there by the ramp. It's getting close to
he'll get it just in time. Yep. Perfect.
Oh, my God. This is so well executed.
This is so well. I'm so impressed with First.
All right. And he can just keep making force fields, guys.
Yeah. He has enough force fields to last for the entire...
Basically the rest of the game.
Yeah, like that. He will never run out if he doesn't want to.
And if he makes a mistake and then puts down a second force field or something, he just warps in more sentries.
Yeah.
This is absolutely awesome.
Look at this. His timing is perfect on getting these out. He's getting the force field literally at the last second. That one was just a
little bit too late, but that's okay. Because he's going to go and get this hatchery now over here in the main.
This was really well executed. Wow. Wow, First.
Yeah, this is really impressive stuff.
Actually, you know what? I'll talk about it after, but I have some happy things to say. But look at this. The Phoenix is now coming in, helping out a little bit. Actually messing up on his micro slightly there and being targeted down. Good job by Leenock there, getting the best he could with those Hydras. But
I don't know why we haven't seen this strat before.
Well, the Warp Prism buff is pretty new, and To be fair, I haven't watched a lot of Pro League in the last week, so this could have happened like maybe once. But yeah, no, I think that this just kind of came back. And the thing is, this map is the perfect map for it. It's all dead space in between. Yeah. So you can actually clear 100% of scouting of this. Like, they just
completely catch them off guard. I mean, there's really not much Leenock could do. Leenock got blindsided by this.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think this push over here now with these Immortals of the Sentries and the Zealots, and now some Stalkers in the back.
What are you going to do against this? Phoenixes look like they're going to fall. But yeah, he's hitting, and the thing is, he's going Colossus behind this. This is like not even all in what we're watching here.
No, this is actually a brilliant strategy.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of all in, but it's not all the way all in.
No, it's not as dramatically all in as, like, for instance, what we saw Hyven do in that last game. You know?
Exactly.
GG, that's it. Wow.
Sick play.
That was an awesome game. Really, what a treat to catch something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean that was a treat. Perfect strategy for the map. You know, with the new patch on the Warp Prism, that makes that just even more efficient. The way he lured the Hydras down, I'm actually getting chills describing it again. Really awesome.
You can see Leenock, there was really nothing he could have done.
No, he got outplayed there.
Totally outplayed.
Like, out-strategized, out-micro. Well, there wasn't a lot of micro he could do. Once the force field went down, his Hydras were on the bottom. There wasn't much he could do.
And what's nice about it is not just that, but he also knew when to pull out. He's like, okay, we've done the damage. I don't have to keep trying to do this and warp in stuff here. I've killed the main. I did a lot of damage. A lot of your drones weren't mining. So he just picks up and leaves.
If his Hydras are in the main, then he can stop and stuff. Anyways, let's go ahead to the interview, and we can talk more about this after.
First, you can already tell just kind of in his voice that he's kind of in awe, but he's like, you know, my first time here for StarLeague, I didn't expect to go up 2-0, and it kind of felt oddly easy, but I feel really good about it.
You certainly made it look easy. Yeah. He played well, no doubt.
First, has always kind of thought that Zerg was his worst matchup, and also he says it's mainly because during practice he's very aggressive, but when he comes on broadcast or goes on stage, he has trouble kind of bringing that style out, and so especially against Zerg. But today his builds worked out well for him. And first, as in his first game today, he felt he went a little bit too far, a little bit over-aggressive, but once he started seeing the mutas, you know, there was only one choice left, and he just went with that and played the game out.
계속 방송에 적응하는 것이 오히려 중요한 것 같고 방송에만 적응하면 앞으로도 계속 잘 될 것 같아요.
Yeah, first says he thinks the biggest thing for him to improve is to adapt to being on stage and also being on air, you know, having the cameras in your face, things like that. The whole environment of playing at such a tournament, and if he can get used to that, he believes he'll be able to bring out his style.
미국에서는 좀 뭔가 영어도 이렇게 안 시선을 잘 못 느껴서 그런지 외국에서는 긴장을 안 하는.
And first says, interesting enough, he says he tends to get less nervous when he goes to international tournaments, and he thinks it's mainly because he can't tell the fans, like, how much attention the fans are giving him, because there's like the language barrier and things like that. Like, unless they're chanting your name or such, you know, such occasions, he can't tell, you know, what they're saying or how they're looking at you. He can't read their facial expressions as well.
Certainly matches up with his results until now.
아주 잘하는 선수라고 할지라도 필연전 졌습니다. 테란전은 방송에서 해도
And first, pretty confident about Terran's actually, even when he's on air or on stage, he feels pretty good about Terran matchups, but specifically Zerg, he has the most trouble with when he's put on the spot.
I wouldn't have known. Well, he came into it with a 50% record, so.
Of course, when you're talking about Terran, you can't forget that already we have players like Flash and Innovation moving on. And First says, you know, at this point, if he plays the way he is, he's pretty confident to go up against any Terran, and he thinks it'll be a good match. So maybe. Never know.
A bold statement. Brave and the bold. I like the ladybugs on Castle Jin's jacket.
He's rocking it. Summertime here in Seoul.
Gold chain and everything.
First is like, to be honest, it would be nice if not many other Protosses moved on, so that he could kind of get the spotlight for, you know, one of the few Protoss players, but at the same time he feels for his fellow race players and hopes that they all play well and move on to the round of 16.
No tears were shed for SOS. I guess not.
First, when, you know, originally entering, he said the round of 8 or the quarterfinals was his original goal for this tournament, and now that he's gotten one step closer, and everyone was expecting him to say his goal has also moved on to the round of 4, but he's like, I'm just hoping I can make it to the round of 8. He says the main reason is he wants to make sure he can achieve whatever goal he set for himself, and then actually just be comfortable with where he is and maybe play out the rest instead of getting too ambitious or greedy.
Solid plan.
And to his fans, apologies for not showing the best performances when on air, but this season he hopes to change that. Of course, as every player wants to show their best games here at WCS.
Well, he's certainly gotten a good start.
And he hopes that people pay him a little bit more attention from now on. And that's it for First. Once again, Cherbo giving it back to Doa and Monty.
Very nice.
I, too, like the ladybugs on his jacket. I didn't notice they were ladybugs at first. Then when he pointed it out, I'm like, oh, those are ladybugs, aren't they?
Yeah.
So we are going to be going into game number 4 here for this group, Group F, in just a little bit. It's going to be a ZVZ, Roro versus Haiva. The loser's out, and I think it's going to be Haiva.
I do want to say something about the two Protoss players that we actually have moving forward so far, Trap and First. One defining characteristic that we're seeing from these guys is extremely sharp builds with crisp execution.
That's very true.
And that's actually something that right now in the world of Protoss you really truly need to win.
Yeah.
Whereas some of these other players, like, I don't know how to describe exactly my feelings on SOS's play. I love it. He's one of my favorite Protosses in the world for sure. But it's not exactly the same, right? It's pretty sharp and it's pretty crisp, but it's not like these builds where I'm like, I look it down to the second and I know the second trap's supposed to move out and he moves out, and then I look at the build that First is doing, and as the 4th sentry comes out, the Warp Prism pops out, he's cleared everything. Like, there's something to be said about that. It's really nice to see.
I gotta echo what you just said there. Yeah, absolutely. It looks like actually our game is about to start here. We're going right into this one. Haiva, the underdog, is going up against a GSL Codes champion, Roro. The map, again, will be Newkirk Precinct. I'm Tasteless, with me as Zartosis, and this is the StarLeague Season 2 at GOMTV.net.
Big match in Group F.